Welcome to episode 190 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Law Sky. It is May 9, 1951. Wembley. England against Argentina. A festival of Britain International, played before almost 100,000 people, with England in red shirts and Argentina in sky blue and white. It is the first official meeting between these two future world champions, and it is the first time England play a non-British national team at Wembley. And for more than an hour, it looks like Argentina are going to spoil the party. But in the final stretch, England rescue it. England 2, Argentina 1. And a festival match becomes the first chapter in one of international football's most intense rivalries. But how did we get here? Well, we start with the Festival of Britain. In 1951, Britain is still living in the shadow of war. There's austerity, bomb sites, rationing, a country trying to recover materially and psychologically. The festival is designed as a tonic to the nation, not a traditional world fair, not a grand imperial exhibition. Its main purpose is domestic, to show Britain to itself as modern, inventive, and alive. The South Bank exhibition gives London the Skylon, the Dome of Discovery, and the Royal Festival Hall. Across the country, there are exhibitions, art festivals, science displays, industrial showcases, music, film, design, architecture, and sport. Football becomes part of that national stage. The FA builds a kind of soccer festival around it. There are international fixtures and dozens of club matches involving visiting continental teams. PSV goes to Huddersfield, Crvena Zvezda go to Preston, Saarbrücken go to Liverpool, Rapid Vienna, Borussia Dortmund, Dinamo Zagreb, Anderlecht, Floriana, Partizan Belgrade, Sparta Rotterdam. Clubs from across Europe come to play British sides. The idea is simple. If the festival is meant to show British life and culture, football has to be there. But Argentina, at Wembley, is the centerpiece. Why Argentina? The grounded explanation is footballing and diplomatic. Argentina are one of the great names of the world game. They had dominated South American football in the mid-1940s. They had not gone to the 1950 World Cup, which made them slightly mysterious to British eyes, but not less glamorous. They represented exactly the kind of overseas prestige opponent England needed. And England did need it. The previous summer, England had gone to their first World Cup in Brazil and suffered the humiliation of losing 1-0 to the United States in Belo Horizonte. For a country that still thought of itself as football's natural reference point, that result was a wound. England had beaten plenty of foreign sides at home before, but Wembley had remained essentially a home nation's stage. Now Argentina were coming to the Empire Stadium, a serious opponent, a South American opponent, at Wembley first. The program itself looks like a piece of festival design. Flags, crests, bright colors, Empire Stadium lettering, and 1 shilling, England versus Argentina as a national occasion. There's one striking detail before kickoff. England do not wear white. They wear red, because the referee decides the usual England white does not contrast clearly enough with Argentina's sky blue and white stripes. But this is also the first time England wear red at Wembley. The match is not gentle. Argentina are technically sharp, compact, and clever. Their coach is Guillermo Stabile, the top scorer at the first World Cup in 1930, and now the architect of a formidable Argentine side. The acrobatic goalkeeper Miguel Rugilo, Tarzan to the Argentine public, is at the back. Their attack includes Mario Boyé, Norberto Mendes, Ruben Bravo, Angel Labruna, and Felix Lusto. That is serious football pedigree. England have Walter Winterbottom as manager and Billy Wright as captain. Bert Williams is in goal. Alf Ramsey is at right back. Tom Finney, Stan Mortensen, and Jackie Milburn lead the attack. It is a strong side, but also one still trying to prove that the old English certainty has not been permanently damaged. Then Argentina score after 18 minutes. A quick move opens England, and Boyé heads in from close range. Wembley is stunned. England push back. Milburn hits the post. Rugilo makes saves, sometimes brilliantly, sometimes theatrically. Reports describe Argentina's defensive funnel, their ability to draw England into pressure, then block the central route. England have plenty of the ball, plenty of urgency, but not enough incision. So at halftime, Argentina lead 1-0, and the longer the second half goes, the more dangerous the occasion becomes. England are not just losing a friendly, they're losing a festival showcase at Wembley against the first overseas national team to play them there. Then, With around 10 minutes left, the pressure finally tells. Some Finnish corner creates the opening. Mortensen stoops in and heads England level. 1-1. Now Wembley changes, and 4 minutes from the end, Alf Ramsey's free kick is worked into the danger area. Mortensen helps it on, and Jackie Milburn finishes from close range. 2-1 England. England escaped. So what did it mean? For England, it restored some credibility, but only some. This was not the kind of win that proved England were tactically ahead of the world. Argentina had exposed familiar problems: discomfort against technical movement, difficulty breaking a packed defense, impatience when the game did not follow English rhythm. But in 1951, the result mattered. England had protected their unbeaten home record against foreign opposition. They had won at Wembley against a major South American side, and they had done it in the setting of the Festival of Britain, when the whole point was to project recovery, confidence, and modern national life. 10 days later, also during the festival period, England beat Portugal 5-2 at Goodison Park. Again, they needed a strong late finish, and again, the performance was not perfect, but the scoreboard helped. For Argentina, the trip continued. On May 13, they went to Dublin and beat Ireland 1-0. They returned home, still clearly a major football power, but they remained outside the next World Cup story. Argentina did not enter the 1954 qualification process, a decision that looks worse with every year of hindsight. This was a country with immense talent, but politics, federation decisions, player disputes, and regional tensions kept interrupting its world stage. England did go to the 1954 World Cup. They reached the quarterfinals and lost to holders Uruguay. The year before, in 1953, came the return visit to Argentina. England lost 3-1 to a Buenos Aires 11 in a match FA counts as unofficial, but the AFA counts it as official. A few days later, a full Argentina-England international was suspended in heavy rain and abandoned at 0-0. Even the rematch refused to give the relationship a clean shape. And that is fitting, because England against Argentina never becomes simple. The 1951 game is not yet the great rivalry as you know it. There's no Falklands shadow, no hand of God, no Beckham red card, no Ratin controversy. But the ingredients are already there. English directness against Argentine technique. Wembley authority against South American confidence. The self-declared home of football against one of football's great rival civilizations. And then the later matches add layers. In the 1962 World Cup in Chile, England beat Argentina 3-1 in a rough, tense match. In 1966, again at Wembley, England beat Argentina 1-0 in the World Cup quarterfinal after Antonio Ratin was sent off. That match hardens the rivalry, discipline, protest, translation, authority, and resentment. In 1986, in Mexico City, Diego Maradona gives the rivalry its defining contradiction, the hand of God and the goal of the century in the same match a few minutes later, and 4 years after the Falklands War. In 1998, Michael Owen scores a wonder goal. David Beckham is sent off. Argentina win on penalties, and a new English trauma is born. In 2002, Beckham scores a penalty that feels like revenge. So the 1951 match matters because it is the first meeting, but also because it shows how much meaning can gather around a football fixture before anyone knows it is becoming history. A festival match, a red-shirted England, a late Wembley rescue, and the opening scene of a rivalry that would become about style, temper, politics, memory, pain, and pride. Before we go, 3 things to take away from May 9, 1951. First, England-Argentina began as a Festival of Britain showcase. It was part of a national celebration designed to show post-war Britain recovering its confidence. Second, it was a Wembley first. Argentina were the first overseas national team to play England there, and England wore red at the national stadium for the first time. And third, the rivalry did not start as hatred. It started as contrast, English urgency against Argentine craft, and the later decades added the politics, controversy, and emotional force. On this day in 1951, England beat Argentina 2-1 at Wembley in the Festival of Britain International, and a match meant to celebrate national recovery became the first chapter in one of football's great international rivalries. That is all for episode 190 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Lost Guy. Tomorrow, go to May 10, 1987, and to Napoli's first Scudetto, choreographed by Peak Diego. See you tomorrow.